All right, let's do it. It's the liftoff. LA Leakers, Just
Yes.
Incredible, Eric Deluxe, DJ Sour Milk, and I'm
Yes.
here with King Push, man.
What up, what up, what up?
Pusha T.
LA Leakers, man.
Welcome to the show.
I always love coming here, man.
Love having you up, man.
Love being here.
The energy's always right, right?
Always right.
Especially when it's around album time, my brother.
And we talking about Darkest Before Dawn, 12/18.
Yeah, man.
The hardest album of the year.
That's how we
I
feeling.
can say that now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying that earlier. But I can say it now. I know I got the hardest album.
You've heard everything now.
Yeah, I've heard everything.
Not extremely impressed with what's going
Oh,
on.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, it ain't better than mine. It ain't harder than mine for sure.
There's always an energy though around your releases, man, and people are always like rooting for you to win, which I think is so extremely dope. You know what I mean? Talk to us about the mindset going into this project, because I know you said you wanted to keep it extremely dark and you wanted the whole body of work to be that way.
Yeah, basically I've been recording for, since My Name Is My Name.
Okay.
In between touring and so on and so forth. And it just gets to a point where, there's a certain way I like to hear my music and like to hear my albums, and I feel like there's a certain way that my fans like to hear me.
Right.
And I had made this body of work that we're talking about, Darkest Before Dawn, and I didn't want to break it up. Like I wanted to hear it straight through just like that. So I was like, man, this is it. This is it. I ain't worrying about nothing. I ain't worrying about, spins and none of that. I just want my core to be fed.
Right. With the body.
Yeah.
That's right.
And like I said, I've been recording so much, so, come April, I'm gonna put out the King Push album. Right. Which is a bit broader.
Okay.
What you get from me is always gonna be street hip hop. And that's just it. But I feel like King Push is a bit broader.
Yeah.
But Darkest Before Dawn, which we're on right now,
December 18th,
is the sinister.
Okay.
The sinister minister.
Now production is crazy on this album. We got Boy Wonder on there. Of course, we got Diddy's on this project. Timbaland's on this project. How did you get them to all follow or at least see your vision as well? Because it's like I heard you talk about the importance of production.
Yes.
In some of your recent interviews, and
Super
it's like
important.
To keep them all in the same mental space. Like, how did you get it there?
Well, I think it all started with conversations with all of those producers, and I feel like, a lot of people, producers, and just people in general, sort of look to me in a sense of just taste what's going on.
Yeah. Where do we gotta go with this?
Yeah, where should we be going with it? Yeah. And I just had those type of conversations with all of those producers. In that setting, I am a student. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation where I definitely would sit down with them, tell them what I like, what I wanted to do, and then tell them like, man, let's start at places that you've already been before, that I'm a super fan of. Like, and let me tell you how I interpret
those moments.
Yeah, those moments.
Yeah.
And I feel like that gets the ball rolling. That gets the energy going.
It takes them right to that place.
Yeah, because I've never worked with a lot of those guys.
Right.
So when they see my energy and when they see my perspective on a record like My Downfall from Big.
Oh man.
And or the all the Jay Z B-sides that Tim has done, type records or whatever. Right. When they get my perspective on that, they're like, okay, well, I see what you want and I see what you're trying to create. And then there's a whole nother side, a whole nother thing that when producers get with me, they want to make the
best
quintessential rap record, hip-hop, rough.
Hell yeah. You bring it out of them.
Hardest
Yeah.
record. You know, I want to have the hardest record in the street, but they want to be a part of the, you know, of that. You know, these guys are chart toppers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Pharrell specifically, it's like
Of
when
course.
y'all get in,
Yeah.
it's that hip hop magic.
All it is, you know, he be like this and shit.
Right.
Like,
But you bring it out of him and vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned Jay Z. How did he get involved with this project? Because I heard something about where you said he threw you a little change or something like that.
Yeah, man. You know, Jay Z basically gave us $100,000
That's amazing.
to fund the short film.
Okay.
And you know, like I said, man, you know, it's all about you know, spawning creativity in others, and you know, that's where I sort of am in my career too. I feel like, man, I take inspiration from people, but it's my job to sort of, you know, inspire and help push the creativity of others.
Right.
So, you know, me and Steven have probably been online checking out video directors.
Okay.
Always looking at, you know, just what's going on visually.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's one of my strong points as far as videos go.
Okay.
So, you know,
You've had some dope ass videos.
I feel like I have,
You've
but
had
it's
some
just
really
an
dope.
inconsistent thing. Like, I feel like there's some people who have mastered it.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, you know, we were like, you know, we were looking at these guys, and you know, we came to the conclusion that regardless of what it is that they shoot, whether we're into the music or not, we always love the visual. So we sent them the director by the name of Kid Art. We sent him some music and was like, yo, we want videos for this. He loved the music. He came back with 2 videos, a movie treatment, and everything.
Crazy. Wow.
And you know, we sent it over. We sent it over to Tidal, and was like, you know, what you think? And
They wanted to get behind it.
yeah, Hov was like, listen, you take that.
Yeah.
You know, we took that and we gave it to them, and it was like, now don't let us down.
Right. Right.
And they executed, man. I have to say that they executed. The
That's
Darkest
beautiful.
Before Dawn film is amazing.
Is it true that the grinding beat almost went to Hove?
Yeah, for sure.
That's insane.
Yeah, it did. It did.
That is insane to think where that would have went if that, you know, at that pinnacle point
Yeah.
of both people's career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Pharrell definitely told me that, you know, if I didn't get to the studio in the next 15 minutes, he was giving it to Hov.
He was letting that fly.
Yeah.
I saw where you told Rolling Stone you felt like you were one of the last superheroes in this
Yes.
rap game. Can you
Yes.
elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, I do feel like a rap superhero. I feel like, man, you know, all of my rap superheroes, everybody that I liked, they could rap really well. They were fresh.
Yeah.
They were like, you know, they were just of the culture.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really find flaw in them and character.
Because they embodied the whole thing.
Yeah, and so, you know, I you know, when I look at the rap game now, like, I don't know who kids really just want to wholeheartedly beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's the Michael Jordan of rap right now?
And it's like, you know, you can like certain aspects, but I just feel like, you know, a lot of rappers are victimized, and man, I ain't like that.
Never
Like,
really been.
I never been like that. And so, like, you know, superhero, rap villain, whatever it is, that's what it is to me. Like, that's how I feel.
Recently appointed the president of good music.
Recently, yes.
I mean, this is dope, man. Because
Yeah.
like you said, it's like, I think that's important for artists to be able to turn to an artist who they say, oh, he gets it. I
Right.
want to be like Push, or I follow his career.
Right.
How does that conversation happen with you and Kanye?
You know, basically, he called me like any other time and just was like, yo, man, what you think about it? Like, you know, I feel like, you know, your peers on the label, y'all got respect for each other. You actually, he knows I care.
Of course.
Like, I literally care about, you know, the idea of like team, the idea of like good as a unit.
Right.
And he was like, man, I think, you know, you be great for it. And you know, I also feel like you be on the cusp of knowing what's about to happen, what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, just small things I guess he noticed.
Yeah.
But you know, he put the position in my hands. It's a hierarchy, man. It's an easy thing. When you're working with a whole bunch of creatives.
Right.
And you got a whole bunch of creatives at your disposal.
Yeah.
And you know, you got that going. You got that going on. You got a dope roster. You have
You looking
know,
for
we're a team.
more artists on the roster, or yeah,
of course,
yeah.
Always looking for what's new, what's next, what's hot.
Man,
Always.
congrats on that, my brother.
Thank you.
December 18th, Darkest Before Dawn.
Yes,
I can see the excitement. It's glowing.
Listen, man.
You excited to get this out?
I'm so happy about this because it's everything that I want to do.
Right.
Like I really want to do.
Yeah, man.
And I just feel like my people gonna be happy.
Definitely. What was some of the creative process for you on this album?
Creatively, man, I went through a boot camp, man. I like, you know, dealing with some of these producers, man. Like, I went through like boot camp with Puff.
That had to be insane.
Like,
you
yeah,
too.
man,
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall.
You can't impress that guy. You can't, man, and it only pushes you to do something great or do something that, you know, you might not have done under a more relaxed situation.
Yeah.
But Puff is the GOAT, man.
How do you feel he pushed you in this particular process?
I mean, listen, man, I could spit a verse for him and he could just be looking at me like, "Oh, really? Playboy?"
Oh, really, Playboy?
And I ain't, you know, that ain't what I'm trying to hear. Like I want to see him clapping his feet.
The head nod.
Yeah,
right.
But, you know, he's just a hard guy to impress, and but when we get it, we get it, and I think it's gonna be dope because the records that Puff is associated with are, to me, the harder records on the album.
Okay.
And they have like the greater moments, and you know, I don't know, like I sort of look to him. I think a lot of people look to him for hits and look to him, you know, his discography of hits, and,
right?
You know, his time period of you know what he's put out that's so great.
The GOAT, like you said, the GOAT.
Definitely GOAT.
Right?
But, you know, people don't know that there's a whole nother layer that I don't know if he looks at is you know, I don't know if he thinks that those records are
as important.
You know, I don't know if they were important to him, but to me, they were everything.
Right.
And I think we sort of dialed in on those feelings.
Do you have a Mount Rushmore of producers? Do you got like
Mount Rushmore?
You know, or top 5? I know I don't want to put you on the spot, but it's like you've worked with so many, and specifically on this album, we got Timbaland, Diddy. You know what I mean? Some of the best. Pharrell. You know.
Yeah. My Mount Rushmore is Kanye West, Timbaland, the Neptunes.
Okay. Yeah.
Puff, and Teddy Riley. That's it.
Wow. I like it, man.
Yeah.
It's a great list right there.
That's time, that's everything.
Right.
Yeah.
From moments in your life.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Grammy nominations, man. Our man Kendrick, 11 of them.
Man, how awesome is that?
I mean, right?
How awesome is that?
You for someone as innovative when it comes to the music as you, loving rap music, seeing where it's gone as far as you've pushed it, I mean, that's got to be dope. How do you feel about the Grammy noms, man?
It's so dope, man, that and, you know, I think a lot of people make a fuss about the Grammys in regards to, who didn't get nominated, who did get nominated, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything just be done perfectly. So what I'm saying is when you get a Kendrick getting 11.
That's a win.
That's a win. Like I remember when like Young MC was like.
And we're like, yo, what?
Vanilla Ice.
Right.
We got Kendrick. Like, you know, like it can't just be. Matter of fact, I was looking at the category and I was like, yo, I'm not mad. Like, I ain't, you know.
Sometimes it's off, right?
Sometimes it's super off.
Right. But I thought you know, rap categories and all that were on point this year.
I mean, how do you like really, I can look at all of them, all of those careers and all of those albums and everything that
they put in their work.
Yeah, I can look at all those, you know, scenarios and be like, if any one of them walked away with it, you can explain it.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad. And I'm man, it's a lot of uproar these days, man. Like,
You know, everyone's got an opinion, especially with social media and all that.
yeah,
Everyone's
man,
gonna, you know,
it's
lash
whack.
out.
That's why social media just need to be cut off. When, like,
Just what would the world do without it, man?
Well, no. It just needs to be cut off when like Grammy nominations come out. All right, let
Pause.
it chill for 2 days,
Pause it all, right?
and then you come back.
December 18th, the hardest fucking album of the year,
Believe
man. Other than this album dropping as the year ends, what were some other memorable moments for you this year? I know you pay close attention to the culture all year, man.
Man, I don't know. I think the noise that we making over there at Adidas, me and Ye
I was gonna, that's where I wanted to go with it.
Come on, man. What me and Ye doing over there at Adidas?
Shoe of the year,
yeah,
you know,
like,
and
come on, man. Like we making noise.
yeah,
Matter of fact, me, Ye, and Pharrell,
right. Got
Super
Adidas
noise.
turned up.
like super noise. Like
I think it's beautiful
on all levels, though. Like you can look at it. You can look at Pharrell's Superstar campaign.
Right.
You can look at my EQT campaign. It's just I think we got all the corners covered.
Yeah.
So
How was it designing and being involved with your latest shoe release?
see that's the thing. I don't want people to get it confused. Mine is a more detailed oriented
Release?
a more detailed oriented shoe.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I seen Kanye's shoe from Sketch. Like I ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
not my thing. So don't I don't want people to even confuse that. Mine is just about the detailed nuances of my shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Italian crack leather, and just being about synonymous with my movement.
Right.
The fish scale back, the
Fresh.
Pyrex, the Pyrex sole.
Yeah.
The bagging, the packaging. It's a whole experience
Yeah.
with my situation.
That's right.
Those guys, we're all selling different things.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to, really get.
Yeah.
Like really drive home. And I don't want people to confuse it with like, oh, I just, everybody knows the EQT's been here.
Yeah.
But the King Push EQT?
Not that version.
Has not. No.
I talked to you over the holiday, man, and you mentioned that you were spending time with family back in VA, and
Yeah.
speaking with your brother and everything like
Yeah.
that, and spending some time there. How's he doing, man?
Really good, man.
Yeah, is he
Really
ever getting
good.
that itch, man? That itch to get on stage with you, or
Yo, he just came to my listen. I just had a show. Me and him just had. I just had a show with Future
okay,
at home. Can you just imagine? You know what Future is in his career.
Right.
I'm home.
But you were an early supporter of Future early on
Listen,
too, man.
listen,
Credit to you on that.
You know.
Yeah. The visionary, baby.
Nah, X-ray.
Yeah, X-ray.
So, we so I'm out there and I'm finishing my set and I go in the grind and the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
And he just on the side of the stage just watching, and I was like, man, if I call him out here, he'll go crazy on me.
How mad would he be
He'll
at
be
you?
so mad at me. And then we got back upstairs to the dressing room. I was like, man, I wasn't gonna do it. He was like, oh, I know you but he wasn't even budging like he wanted to or anything.
It's not happening.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Are there still some unreleased? I would think there's some vault joints though from you two that hopefully one day would see the light.
You know what the funny thing is? I think Pharrell has those.
Mm.
Pharrell probably. I don't keep music at all.
Okay, so your laptop, you ain't that guy.
No.
26
No,
tracks
sir.
in the.
Listen, matter of fact, we're going to buy laptops today. That's what we were supposed to do yesterday.
Okay.
We're going to buy laptops today
All right.
just so I can feel like I'm part of the laptop gang. But I don't keep music. I don't keep music in my phone. I don't like it.
Right.
I just like to do it and then be done with it.
Gotcha. Well, Push, man, always a pleasure having you
sir.
on the show, my man.
Right.
The album is dropping. It is coming out on the 18th of December. December 18th.
18th.
That's
not
right.
28th.
You dropped
18th.
Yo, and I told you, man, that Dream record is special.
Thank you so much.
Special.
More famous than rich. You rather be more famous than rich.
Hey, and I felt like
So
the
disgusting.
two of your energies is so perfect together, man.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
listen. Dream.
One of my favorite producers, songwriters, musicians, The
Definitely
Dream.
my favorite songwriter.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's man. What was it like working with him on this?
Listen. He's
'Cause you've
a
done-
maestro.
Maestro.
Like he's the maestro, man. Like Dream is another person who just everything, man. He's always there for me. Always looks out for me.
Yeah. He understands, man.
Yeah, he gets
understands.
it. He gets it. He gets it.
You got any plans for 2016 working with anyone else or any type of collaborations?
King Push album, 2016, April. I have a feature that's going to knock your socks off. I'm not telling you right now. I can't tell you right now.
Can you blink or cough if I say the name?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
But it's so real. And I mean, I'm talking about that album just in a level of like broadness, man. We talking about social things.
Yeah.
Mass incarceration.
Okay.
You know, you getting a whole lot of you still get the King Push perspective just on life. You know, life and the life.
Is that album done? Complete?
It's close.
80%, 85%.
Yeah, super close. And that's because Ye wants to get involved.
Okay.
Like super involved.
Okay.
And dialed in and oversee.
Man, you got so much exciting stuff going on,
Yeah.
bro. December 18th, new album. King
Yes.
Push. Always a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir.
LA Leakers, Lift
Yeah.
Off, Power 106.